2 million people are unemployed.
This is Ann Arbor.
Lives have been forever changed.
Ypsilanti and
The chair of the
Dearborn.
Fed said this week that if we don't want this economy to be ruined, we need to invest now, and that is what this
This is a
bill does.
Democratic
It's
dingbat
not
from
perfect,
Michigan.
But the people of my district need help, and they need it now. There are pension provisions in here that are not perfect, that help some
Uh-oh.
people and not others.
Gentlewoman
But I
from New
urge my
York.
colleagues
Pension-
to vote
Reserve.
for
The
this
pension
bill.
bailouts are not perfect. Uh-oh, some pensions aren't getting bailed
Speaker, I
out.
yield 1 minute to my very good friend from the great state of Georgia, Mr. Heiss, a member of the Natural Resources and Oversight and Reform Committees.
Gentleman from Georgia is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank my friend from Oklahoma. The federal government has a responsibility to help both individuals and businesses through this crisis because it's the government that shut down the economy. But I do have deep concerns with the way in which we're attempting to go about this. We've already spent an unprecedented amount of money, $3.6 trillion at an unprecedented rate, and now we have a monstrosity, and we've yet to have a serious discussion as to how we're going to pay for this massive debt. And in this bill, $3 trillion, 1,800 pages, zero input from the minority, from the Senate or the White House, drafted behind closed doors, and just very little time to review it. And as ranking member of the GovOps committee, I want to focus on the Postal Service. The Postal Service does not need a bailout, they need reform. It needs reform. We have 12 consecutive years of losing money in the Postal Service, and it was not caused by this pandemic. It is a deeper pandemic within the Postal Service, and they've got
Gentleman from Oklahoma.
an additional 15 seconds, Mr.
Gentleman's
Speaker.
recognized for an additional 15 seconds.
I thank the gentleman. This is an issue that we've got to resolve, not with just bailout of $25 billion. They have $9 billion sitting in the bank over there. This is our time to be responsible with the people's money, and I urge my colleagues not to support this bill. With that, I yield back.
Gentleman yield. Gentleman from Oklahoma reserved. Gentlewoman from New York is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to yield 30 seconds to the gentleman from New York, Mr. Esbion.
Gentleman from New York is recognized for 30 seconds.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of HEROES. $15 billion for transit agencies, including $3.8 billion for the MTA. That's a good thing. $2 billion for deep cleaning for public housing, such as NYCHA. That's a good thing. Another round of stimulus check, $1,200 plus another $1,200.
This is Democrat Manhattan and Bronx, Adriana Espilat.
$10 billion for additional grants for small businesses. That's a good thing. $7 billion for child care, a good thing.
Rep.
And $100 billion for emergency rental assistance. That's an extremely good thing. Help for New York State, New York City.
Fired.
I rise in support of our heroes. This is a good thing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I reserve my time for the moment.
Gentleman from Oklahoma reserved. Gentlewoman from New York is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to yield 30 seconds to the gentlewoman from Texas, Ms. Escobar.
Gentlewoman from Texas
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank
is
you, Mr.
recognized for
Speaker.
30 seconds.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Madam Chair. Unfortunately, our colleagues on the other side of the aisle don't hear the suffering happening in our communities. Communities like El Paso, vulnerable communities that need more testing, more tracing. This bill does that. It provides that necessary step to safely reopening our economies. It also provides $1 billion for my community of El Paso, Texas, $35 billion for the state of Texas. For this and many other reasons, we need to look at this as one step in a long journey, a painful journey, but one that we're in together. Thank you. I yield back.
Gentlewoman yields. Gentlewoman from New York reserves. Gentleman from Oklahoma.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just remind my friends we actually do here. That's why we worked with you to pass 4 straight bills. Be willing to work with you again. You chose not to do that. You chose to bring the floor a bill you know will not be taken up by the Senate, will not be signed by the President. So let's abandon that course and go back to where we were at. We worked together. We got a lot done, short period of time. I think that's what the American people want us to do. With that, Mr. Speaker, I reserve my time.
Gentleman from Oklahoma reserves. Gentlewoman from New York is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I just would like to tell my good friend, whenever you're ready to sit down, I'm very happy to work with you, but right now I'm ready to yield 30 seconds to the gentleman from California, Mr. Garamendi.
Gentleman from California is recognized for 30 seconds.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of this legislation. Much talk, some facts. In California, $54 billion deficit by the state government. The counties I represent are reeling in their deficit. We need this bill. Otherwise, we're going to see hospitals, we're going to see first providers, police and fire laid off. Many say this bill is dead on arrival. If we do not move this bill, the death will be in our districts. I yield back.
Gentlewoman from New York reserves. Gentleman from Oklahoma is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have great respect for my very good friend from California, but we live in a system right now of divided government. We have a Democratic House, certainly has a voice in anything that's done. We have a Republican Senate, so does it. We have a Republican President. We've proven that we can work together. We did for 4 straight bills, extraordinary amount of time, largest single bill in American history. So it's not as if the two sides don't know how to do this. For whatever reasons, my friends chose to decide to move alone. Well, you can certainly do that through this chamber, and that's your right to do. I respect that. That's what you want to do. But if you think moving alone without Republicans will get you anywhere in the United States Senate or at the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue, I would just suggest that's probably not the case. So again, we know how to do this. We've proven we can do it. An extraordinary job by all concerned on both sides of the House to get those 4 bills done. Nobody works better, by the way, in a bipartisan sense than my good friend, the chairwoman of the Appropriations Committee. And nobody works with her better than my good friend, the ranking member of the Appropriations Committee. I'd suggest the rest of us probably should clear out for a while, let those two work together. Bet you we could get a bill that would actually pass. With that, Mr. Speaker, I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman reserved. Gentlewoman from New York is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to yield 30 seconds to the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Green.
Gentleman from Texas is recognized for 30 seconds.
Mr. Speaker, the richest country in the world is facing a looming humanitarian crisis. Hunger looms large in the land, Mr. Speaker. The bill provides a $14 billion solution with a humanitarian response to feed the hungry. Homelessness looms large. Evictions are afoot. The bill provides $100 billion to keep people in their homes. The humanitarian crisis necessitates a humanitarian response. This bill provides that response. I'm proud to yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields. Gentlewoman from New York reserves. Gentleman from Oklahoma.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I reserve for the moment.
Gentleman from Oklahoma reserves. Gentlewoman from New York is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to yield 30 seconds to the gentlewoman from New Mexico, Ms. Holland.
Gentlewoman from New Mexico is recognized for 30 seconds.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the HEROES Act. The administration's failed response to this crisis causes heartbreak, financial stress, and lays bare the disparities in our country.
This is Deborah
2
Halan,
sisters
1st
didn't
District,
get to
Albuquerque and
died. Their
Placitas.
sons will live
Democrat,
without
New
their
Mexico,
mothers.
Deborah
A single mom in
Halan.
my district lost her job and couldn't get help because of her status. The HEROES Act meets this challenge at the level it demands. When I vote today, I will think of all the families and all of the essential workers, the people who stock our groceries and keep us fed. Mr. Speaker, we must pass this bill, and I yield.
Gentlewoman yields. Gentlewoman from New York reserves. Gentleman from Oklahoma is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I yield a minute and a half to my very good friend, distinguished member from Pennsylvania and distinguished veteran of service to this country, Mr.
Thank
Perry.
the
Gentleman from Pennsylvania is recognized for 1 minute and a half. 1.5 minutes.
I thank the great gentleman from Oklahoma. Mr. Speaker, I will tell you, this bill, among other things, we could talk about all the wish list of things that are in it. I'm sure many have and many will. I want to talk about the $1 trillion of additional spending to the states and talk about my state of Pennsylvania, where we spent and sent billions of dollars. Where right now the governor is holding hostage that money that's supposed to go directly to the counties. He won't give it to the counties who are going bankrupt right now. But what he is doing, Mr. Speaker, is making sure that our nursing home patients get exposed to COVID-19. It's a directive in Pennsylvania. If they have COVID-19 and the hospital releases them, they have to go back to the nursing home. So our nursing homes are 74% across the state. 74% of the deaths in Pennsylvania are because of the governor's policy. Meanwhile, he says he doesn't have enough money. we're going to spend more money in Pennsylvania when the money hasn't already been spent. Oh, by the way, the unemployment compensation money that we sent to Pennsylvania takes 41 days right now to have your claim answered.